Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. I'm your instructor Joy. Thank you very much for your continued support. I really appreciate. So this video is an answer to a subscriber. This violinist is wondering how one could train the stiff right thumb when it comes to bow grip. Some people have a hard time curving the thumb, or some people have hard time, especially a student who is coming from Suzuki program. They have a simplified bow grip, and then when they start putting the thumb in the proper place, they have a little hard time adjusting and then letting it go, the tension of the finger pressure, and therefore having hard time curving the thumb as well as the rest. But let's focus on the thumb, the flexible thumb, since that was the requested. So now, let's start. Why do we need to curve the thumb? Can't we just play without it? Yes and no. It's like if you know how to if you know how to use all the joint flexibly, you are going to have a more control over your bow, which will have a direct link to the beautiful tone production as well as a fancy bow stroke. Let's say upward staccato or colle or accented spiccato or tremolo. All has to do with a flexible thumb as well as the rest of it. So we do need to train it. Imagine yourself, you want to run fast from point A to point B. One could run without bending knees or without moving the ankles, but it will be limited, something like that. If you know how to move all your joints, every part of it, you have more control, therefore you can achieve there faster, easier, and with a more control. So now we know we need that. Now how do we approach it? So let's say you've been playing on your own for a long time. You did not know that the thumb has to be curved, and you've been playing for this straight thumb for a long time. Not much having issue. Why do we need to do that? Or how can we approach? Or you are a teacher yourself working with a young student who is coming from, for example, simplified Suzuki bow grip, which starts from here, holding it, and then you want to bring it to the proper bow grip without introducing curved thumb. The child is having hard time adapting it. Or you yourself have been playing violin for a while, you are quite advanced, past the intermediate, and you've been playing well. You know how to curve it when you think about it, but whenever the moment is needed, somehow you're having a hard time curving your thumb and therefore having a little better control. All these cases, notice that one is all level from all sides of it. So now, when it comes to very delicate exercise like that, one has to be very patient and approach it step by step. So here, often, let's start with a proper bow grip. I'm going to just put the violin down for now. So now, when you place a thumb, I've seen many times actually quite advanced violinists coming with a bow grip, relatively good looking, but the thumb placing is sometimes a little under sticking through. Therefore, the bow is being held with a finger pad. When you look at carefully, the finger pad has a very little function, but rather you're resting on the corner of the nail, or on the corner of the nail and the flesh where it starts, like this. Let's see if I can make it a little clearer. That's a hard angle, like that. Yeah? It's not this way. It's not this way. It's rather the edge is resting, because you have a corner resting point of index finger and the other fingers. They will help it. So it should be resting, something like that. If I put my bow down, maybe I can, if I show with my pencil, it's gonna be a little clearer, like that. It's not this way, it's this way I'm resting, and the middle fingers. This should be. So you can introduce yourself like that one or two students. Now when you do that, so now I find it, even though because I'm just holding the pencil, I'm resting the ring finger also, but it would be better if you do only index finger and the thumb. Notice that when they're not at the same spot, but a little index finger going this way. So the thumb should go where your middle finger is, but we're gonna lift up for now the middle finger, just index finger, hold the pencil with the other hand, and then grabbing like this. So that you're introducing yourself like that. And see if you can just curve and straighten with a pencil. While holding the pencil, it's really hard without it. So put index finger hooked the way you would do with a bow grip and the thumb on the side. And see, you straighten both fingers and curve. Straighten and curve like that. So of course later we are going to introduce the other fingers, but we want to focus the thumb first. Then now you place the bow on the string on the A. It's easier when you place the bow on the string instead of holding in the air, then because the other fingers such as pinky has to be active. We don't want to interfere with the other fingers. We want to concentrate on the thumb only. So place the bow on the middle string, let's say on the D string, which gets the most help of the gravity. And then you place the bow only with index finger and the thumb. In this case, because the bow is resting with the help of gravity, you don't have to hold it with the other hand like we did with a pencil. Just leave it, so hook it with the index finger the way you do, and the thumb resting on the side. Now you try to straighten and curve. Straighten and curve. Now, it may look simple, but when you try first time, it's gonna be a little difficult. But see if you can practice it. Just a couple minutes a day, that will do. Now, let's say you're having a hard time doing that. Then go back to the pencil. Now, again, hold the pencil with the other fingers. Try to imitate with a hook, the way you do bow grip and the thumb. See if you can just straighten. Notice the thumb, the index finger is not resting at the fingertip, but rather on the first joint, like making a hook. But the thumb is resting on the corner here, isn't it? This part. I don't know, I have this ugly side of the thumb because of the bow grip. So like this. And straighten both fingers, index and thumb, and then curve it. Like this. When you do that, you should see the pencil going, should be able to move it a little. Maybe little, but should be able to go sideways, right and left. Then you do it again on the violin. On the open string, D, let's say, only index finger, thumb, starting all straight if you can, and then curve it. Get away. See, oops. Maybe this way is better. So if you're done, then see if you can bring the ring finger down. Now make sure that the other middle finger does not come too early. The way now the ring finger is giving a little stability on the bow, because with this tool the bow would go everywhere. So now ring finger, index finger, and the thumb. Notice the thumb is between those two fingers and still resting on the corner. And then you do the same thing, curving it, flattening it. And then you'll see it a little easier because you have two fingers helping it. Then now you introduce the middle finger. Still have the pinky off, same idea. Then if you have an issue, you always go back to the pencil again, because it just make it a little simpler. Always hold it with the other hand. So index finger, thumb, ring finger, the middle finger. See if you straighten it, curve it. Make sure the thumb is curved as well. Straighten it and curve it. Again, straighten it and curve it. Straighten it, curve it. If you feel like I cannot curve it, then what you do is just you drop your hand. So if you can see if you can fold all your fingers on. Most of us can do that and drop it again. Yeah. If you can do that and then you tilt your hand a little diagonally, the palm facing us, then you do the same thing. And that's basically what it is. Yeah. So now again on the D string, index finger, thumb resting on the corner of the fingertip, ring finger, now middle finger. Again, straighten on the D string and curve. Now, then you place a pinky, make sure it's a little in the back, and curve finger joint, and then you do the same thing. And this one, try not to practice too much at once, but just little by like this, step by step you bring it. And when you can do all finger joint, so starting index finger and thumb, then you brought index ring finger and the thumb, then index finger, middle finger, ring finger and the thumb, and pinky at the end. If you have all 5 fingers that you can curve and straighten as you wish, then it's time to apply on the bow, and it's a couple of things. And then you do A string and E string, using only finger joint. See if you can create note. Then you do increment this when the scale. If you want, you can review again with the index finger, thumb again. You'll see it's a little harder than 3. But then again, it will be just as a quick review again. Then here. Then you feel comfortable. Then you bring up to the collet stroke, which is basically using only finger joint with the accent and lifting up. And so on like that. There's a video that I made about collet. Collet itself maybe uses some part of the repertoire, but it brings us a great control of the finger joint, therefore introduces or opens the door for many different difficult bow strokes. Yeah. I hope you can try it yourself. I wish you all happy practicing. Thank you for watching and hope to see you again. Bye bye.